good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone, everywhere, depending on where and when you are joining us here. This month has been our month of stew, and we are at the E in stew, which is energy and electricity. And we're going to talk about energy and electricity not only here in the diaspora, but on the continent as well. Have things changed? Have they grown and progressed? Let's talk about that. But before we do, want to introduce you to and get ready for the editorial of the day with our co-host, Professor Nia Sung. Hey, how's it looking like down in your neck of the woods?
Down in my neck of the wood, it's getting hotter every day, but last night was extremely cold and the things are changing every day. We don't know what to expect tomorrow. All the same, we listen to weather people from time to time. And please show people, guests, listeners, audience, please tolerate my young 4-year-old son. He is curious. He cannot be alone, so he has to be with grandpa. It is May 17. It is May 17, 100. What am I saying? He's confusing me now. Today is May 17th. Yes, it is the 137th day of the year 2026. That leaves us with 228 days in the year 2026. It is the 20th Sunday of 2026. Today is the 59th day of spring, leaving us with 35 days till summer. It is not just the 137th day of the year or the 59th day of spring. It is also, take note, International Internet Day in some countries and World Telecommunication and Information Society in some other countries. These are not international days. I just mention it because these days occur in some countries around the world. To us on Africa Online Media Corporation, it is a day to focus on the letter E, as you heard Ambassador Lisa said, in that our acronym STEW, not the stew from the kitchen, but the stew from the Africa Online Media Corporation's corner. And that letter E reads energy and electricity, a set of social realities that help society go about realizing its social and development goals. Simply put, electricity is a form of energy that is carried through wires and is used to operate machines, lights, appliances, and so on. As the subject of our broadcast this Sunday, the 17th of May, electricity or energy invites us to use it as much as possible and to find our why. With so much potential, the African continent in particular is so lacking in the harnessing, production, and distribution of electricity for commercial and domestic purposes. Several years ago, the British newspaper or the British magazine, not newspaper, the British magazine, The Economist, published its findings on electricity supply in Africa entitled Lighting a Continent. Those findings, as good then as they are today, provide us with an insight into the electricity problem on the continent of Africa in particular. Electricity problems occur worldwide, but they are pertinent in Africa. They are more pronounced in Africa. At the time, that is, at the time the Economist magazine was published, the magazine wrote, quote, across Africa, investors joke about living in a bring your own infrastructure continent, a continent in which firms must provide independent generators, water purification units, and even sewage treatment tools when building something on the continent. Of course, the costliest of these is often power, that is energy, that is electricity. Yes, the Economist publication of that time continued, we quote, the World Bank reckons that power shortages trim more than 2 percentage points from annual growth in GDP in average in Africa. That is, in every expenditure, every gross domestic production that you do, you waste 2% because it goes for energy purposes. In Nigeria, the loss is even bigger, about 4 percentage points. Optimists believe that Africa's electricity generating capacity will increase by more than half by the end of this decade. They base their optimism on progress being made in countries like Angola and South Africa. In other countries, most of the new energy will be renewable or from gas, which is cleaner than coal. Ethiopia has completed the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the GERD, on the Blue Nile, which is Africa's largest hydroelectric and thermal plant, which it is hoped would triple the country's power, that is Ethiopia's power production. Kenya is drilling holes deep into the Rift Valley in Hell's Gate National Park to build what will ultimately be the world's largest single thermal plant or geothermal plant. At Lake Turkana, a particularly windy spot on the rift, in the Rift Valley, private investors are building Africa's biggest wind farm. As those efforts continue, families burn kerosene lamps, that is, exposing children to toxic fumes, while nurses struggle to refrigerate vaccines, power incubators, or ensure safe deliveries during blackouts. Without electricity, hopes for value-added manufacturing, jobs, and competitive exports remain out of reach. But hope is not lost. Never lose hope. Never give up hope. Hope is the mainstay of our being here. So let us turn to the chair of Africa Online Media Corporation, Her Highness Reverend Palm, to welcome us to the show and to open the gate for the discussion. Thank you. Over to you.
Yes, well, thank you so much. And sorry, your grandson is not listening to you. What can we say? I thank you for pressing your way since you have to be the seat. On behalf of Africa Online Media Corporation, welcome you, appreciate you, yourself, Ambassador Lisa Swan. Ambassador Lisa Swan. Ambassador Lisa, I'm ready for you to smile.
I can barely hear you, Reverend Pam.
Can barely hear me?
Yeah, that was quite faint.
I don't know why. My volume is up.
Oh,
Okay.
now we can.
It's better now.
Now
better.
we can hear you. I just
Okay,
happened to hear Lisa. I didn't know you was even talking to us. I thought maybe you was talking to somebody in the house.
No, I was hearing her faintly.
no, I was talking to you. No, I was thanking you some for pressing his way, even though he has to babysit a grandson that is not listening to him. You know, what can I say? This show is unscripted, so we have another anchor, another anchor like it. You know, so as I took of you today, Ambassador, thank you so much. You know, I want you to smile, at least your smile. You know, and I want to welcome our viewers. You know, we're talking about the E in our studio, energy and electricity. Ambassador Lisa, you just came back from Nigeria.
Yes.
Let us know any experience. I know things have gotten better. Yes. So that's why I'm going to you want to speak on yourself. So, how was your experience with electricity and energy during this trip? You just came back.
This trip was definitely different from my trip in 2019, 2020. When I was there 2019, 2020, I was there for almost 2 months, and 90% of that time we had no electricity in the home because the government simply would just not, I mean, not the government, the electric company simply would just not turn on the electric. There was such power failures. And when we did have a little electricity, you don't need it during the day because you got the sunlight to keep, to brighten up the house. But when you have tablets and laptops and phones that need to be charged, there was a scramble. As soon as we had no electricity, we would try to charge up everything. This trip was different because my host had installed solar panels. They installed solar panels, so we had electricity whenever we wanted it. We just walked in. Only one day we were without electricity. It wasn't one day, it was one evening on and through the night because someone forgot to flip the inverter on, I guess, to collect the sun to the power grids.
Mhm.
Therefore, we didn't have electricity. But this was a different trip. I've never been outside in Nigeria at night, so I don't know. I can't even recall seeing any street lights or street lamps. I'm sure that there must be some, but this trip was definitely
They have
different.
them. They have them, but for you to see, they see them walking traffic out at night. They have street lights.
We still can't hear you, Reverend Pam.
I don't know what's going on. You cannot hear me.
Yes, you're so faint. Don't even be thinking that you're talking to
I,
us. But
I honestly don't know why. Let me check my volume. But I'm saying that they do have street lights, you know.
oh, okay.
Probably didn't
Well,
see them.
now in Lagos, because I would sit in my room at night and I had a view of the street and I could see outside. They did have street lights out in Lagos. But after about 10 o'clock, it was so eerie because I've never seen the highway totally empty. Here in America, somebody is always going somewhere. The highway is never empty. There, the highway was shut down. Nobody was moving. Nothing was moving, and they did have street lights. But in Warri, where I was, I've never been outside at night. However, Nigeria has the most people without electricity than any other country on the continent. It's just interesting because their infrastructure is kind of outdated. So they've not. It's decades old, and they're building more homes and more houses, but they've not built up the infrastructure to be able to provide electricity for those families in those areas where there is no electricity. So you have a new development being purchased, a new development being established, but they have not put the infrastructure in to carry electricity to those homes. So therefore, you have these constant power failures, these constant outages, and what are the people to do?
You know, the reason why there are more people in Nigeria without electricity because Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I think percentage-wise, the numbers may be different. I don't know what it is percentage-wise, but when it's just raw numbers, that will make sense because I have about 230 to 40. I don't know what the current number is right now. That's the most populous nation in the continent. But I know there was a guy that is looking at their alternative sources of energy besides electricity. And this guy in Cameroon, I don't remember the name. I saw it on Facebook a few months ago. I just thought about it now. They were using coal. They have this coal. I don't remember where they were getting it from as an alternative source of energy. And even when we were back home, there were people that were using sawdust, from
Yes. Mm-hmm.
for cooking. Are you familiar with sawdust?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's the dust that comes from when they're sawing. When
Right.
they're sawing.
I know what salt is. I wasn't aware that they were using it for, you said for cooking?
Oh yes, I mean, I'm talking about when we were growing up. I saw people doing that. I don't remember
Okay.
what city. Yes, we did not use that in our home because we had a stove, but there were people using it for electricity, and of course there are people who are still using not electricity for cooking as an
I need
energy
to
source.
carry on. I'll be right back. I have someone knocking at my door.
Oh, okay, as a energy source. But there's also hydro electricity or energy from water. So Nia, so kindly unmute yourself. Ambassador had to step away. I was telling her that when we were growing up in Cameroon, some people I saw, I don't remember what city, I don't know if it was Moyoka, um, I don't remember what city, probably Moyoka or Tombe, they were using sawdust for cooking. So we want to talk about alternative sources of energy besides electricity.
Yes. What comes to mind in my place, in my village, because I come from the palm oil producing area, we used to use palm kernels or their shells as a source of energy. But
Right?
since I left the village and the palm trees got taller, people don't climb the palm trees as much as they used to do to harvest the cones, where they can use the nuts as a source of energy. But at one time back in the day, I remember my parents had to burn cocoa because there was there was a problem in the market, and cocoa was not selling as it used to sell. So they started burning it as a source of energy. So that is one thing. Yes. And the chaff from when they produce palm oil, the chaff that comes out of the shell is also used as a source of energy. Well, it is quite polluting, but my people had to do it. They just had to submit to that because there was no other alternative. Because back in the village, we don't have electricity. Up till now, we don't have electricity. Now they have solar energy. My cousins, my brothers, they called me to say, oh, we've put some solar energy in the compound. Now we can use solar energy. So that also is another alternative that our people are using now back in the village. But nationwide, electricity, the supply is as good as non-existent. It's just the same like in Nigeria, where power goes when it goes, comes when it comes. I remember my people in my region where I come from, they call and say that, well, we have to charge our phones now because if we wait for this power to go, we will no longer be able to charge our phones, maybe for a week. So that is something that is happening.
Wow.
The electricity supply in the continent, especially in Cameroon and Nigeria, two countries that are neighbors, they don't know what to do apparently, but politicians know what to do, but they don't seem to do it.
You know, what's interesting is I was told that they know they're not providing enough electricity for the homes. They know that the electricity is being cut off, whether they're turning it off, cutting it off, or the power is just failing. They still are charging the same electric bill, the same amount of money for the electric bill. And then when you don't pay it because you've been without electricity, like I said, I was there 90% of the time for 2 months. We had no electricity in the house. They come out to the house and cut the wires. They don't just cut it off. They cut the wires. Now you've got to pay for them to come back and reestablish.
That's
And you
ridiculous.
still are not getting electricity. Now,
what I learned happens in my part of Cameroon, where I come from now, is that they let the power company comes and takes away your meter, so you cannot have the power connected to your house. They take away the meter, and you have to go back and pay for it, pay some more money, and they bring it back, and then you pay your bill.
so it's the same thing, but they're not giving people any services, and that's just not right.
That's monopoly. Can you guys hear me now?
You have.
Can you guys hear me?
You are getting faint again. I don't know what is going on.
I don't. Okay, you guys. I don't know what it is. I didn't change anything.
There, it is very good now. When you talk now, it's very good. But
I'm moving forward. I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just stay like this. No, what I'm saying is, that's the problem of monopoly. There's plenty of sunlight in Africa, most places. There's a place in Cameroon that it now rains a lot, and then of course Djibouti, it rains there a lot, almost every day. So that may having solar power may be a problem. Then more people should install solar power, so that they don't have to rely on the national grid. But then somebody had mentioned that there was some government, I don't know which government, wanted to start charging people some kind of tax for solar power because it's free.
They're going to start charging you. They're going to start charging you for what the sun is already naturally giving you.
Exactly, and even boreholes, because when you have a borehole, you're not paying, you're not using the water supply, And yeah, so you're talking about using kernel. I've never heard of the kernels, palm kernels being used as a source of energy, which is quite. Ambassador, are you familiar with palm kernels?
No, I'm not.
Are you familiar with palm oil?
Yes, I'm familiar with palm oil, but not using it for electricity.
No, the palm oil is the juice from the palm kernel, palm nut.
Back in the day when I was growing up, we used to use palm kernel shells, not the palm kernels themselves, but the shells. We crack the nuts, get out the shells, and use them as a source of energy. The chaff that we get from when we wash the oil out of the palm, when we pound it, we use that too as a source of energy. So in those days, it was quite profitable. But these
So,
days,
so I wonder what they are doing with the chaff now, because I mean, Victoria, regarding when I was surprised, went for a discussion. I don't know if we just
you are
go
getting lost again. Please stay as you were.
Okay, no, you guys just continue. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is at all. I really don't. So you guys just proceed, because I don't want to be waiting. I don't know why.
Ambassador, you go ahead.
In the country of Uganda, last I was there in 2018, they were still having rolling blackouts, at least in Ginger, in not so much in Intenda, but in Ginger, they were having rolling blackouts, and they were doing them kind of on purpose. You knew if this side of the town was going to be having a blackout, you went to the other side. So it was kind of this back and forth, back and forth. They were trying to preserve industry. But what I understand is that whoever built the dam on the river that they were using to generate electricity didn't build it correctly. So it was not generating the energy it needed to provide electricity for the whole entire country. Now, well, not the whole entire country, let me just say in that subsection of the city, in Tenda, where I stayed, the electricity was prepaid. And while I was there, I was going to make sure that we had enough electricity to do all the things we needed to do, to provide more than one bucket of hot water, more than one teapot of hot water. So I always paid the electric bill so that we would have constant electricity. We never had problems with blackouts, but we paid the electricity bill kind of prepaid. And I made sure that we had it. So I was always wondering, if we're doing it here, why are we not doing it in other parts of Uganda? Why are they not prepaying their electricity in other parts? Now I know in Nigeria they only have one electric company, which like we have here in Philadelphia, we only have one electric company. But now we have all these little subdivisions who are still, and I don't understand how they work because they're still drawing their electricity from our main Pico. And now, but you can get it a little cheaper if you go through them, but they're still getting electricity from Pico. I don't understand how that works, but
Wait,
I,
so Lisa, did you say that? Can you hear me better?
yeah,
Yeah,
but a little,
Can you guys hear me better now?
a little
better.
better, yes.
Okay, I just changed my audio settings. So, but anyway, so you say in Philadelphia they have only one electric company?
And Nigeria, I believe, have one electric company, so it's a monopoly, and they're doing whatever they want.
And I'm talking about Philadelphia,
Oh,
in
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia.
yeah, we have one electric company, which is Pico, but now we have all these little companies that you can sign up with. It's supposed to make your electric bill a little cheaper, but they're still getting electric from the electric company. It's not like they're building their own infrastructure.
Yeah,
So why are you going to
I
little
think it's cost.
subdivisions?
I think it's cost because I know in Houston there used to be just Reliant Energy. Now it's Centerpoint, but then they have tier two, they have other companies. But it sounds like maybe those companies are still buying, they're still tapping into the grid from the
Yes.
one, because I think they changed, it was done to reduce monopoly. I really don't know, but I think Centerpoint, I don't know why they changed from Reliant to Centerpoint. I really don't know all the politics or policies about it. But now Centerpoint handles both your gas, we're talking energy, and your electricity. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one company that handles it. And now they don't have to come to your house to cut it off. They can just cut it off remotely on an app. So, but all these other providers, smaller companies, still rent the grid or whatever else they
Right.
use from these main companies. So it must cost a lot of money, because even in Cameroon, there's only one electric company too. And yeah, so when we're growing up in West Cameroon, we had Power Cam. We never
Yes.
had a blackout. As I said, we never had a blackout one day in West Cameroon.
In English-speaking Cameroon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the power station was closed down, and it was Frenchified, if I can say it. They Francophonized it. They took it over, and things went down the drain. And then power cuts became a regular order of the day. So that is the problem. In my part of the country today, power comes today and tomorrow you don't have it, and it may stay for a week. That's what I was saying earlier.
Right.
But you know, me, so in my grandfather's compound, my maternal grandfather's compound, the Germans built, there's a dam there. Until today, it's a mechanical dam. I don't know, it's not being used anymore, but I think that what they built there was providing electricity for the village.
Yeah.
When the Germans were there, I think it was in the 30s or 40s or whatever, you know, that thing was still working up to like because as a child, I remember going there and the water it was so loud. It's a mechanical system built by the Germans. You know,
Yes.
I don't know what happened to it. It's not far from CPC Bali, you know, but they just left it alone. So the mechanical system was not based on, was not using electricity.
The problem is government again, because unfortunately we keep saying don't blame government, but we have to blame government because they take over these things, they nationalize these things, and they don't put enough enough resources to maintain it. Maintenance is a problem. Then staff as a problem. In some areas, some staff become goats that are feeding on the grass that is around them. That is, they say the goat eats where the fetter eat. So the people employed to work in these power companies feed on the people by forcing them through power cuts to make sure that they keep the thing going. They give them money and they work, they do what they have to do, which unfortunately is not what ought to be.
That's part of the corruption.
Yeah, it's part of the corruption.
Yes. So according to some statistics I read, South Africa used to have a problem just like everybody else with what they called load shedding, where they turned off the electricity. But now they are having a significantly stabilized electrical system. And I'm not sure what they did, but it's changed from electricity for 10 hours a day to more stability. And now they have more electricity on a more constant basis. So
do you
again,
think it's an intentional act by the powers that be to keep the people in darkness? I don't get it.
don't get it either. I don't know if they're intentionally trying to keep the people in darkness as opposed to they're just not it seems like they're just not sure about what it is they're doing. Like I said, in Uganda, somebody built the dam and they built the dam kind of backwards. So it wasn't able to handle the water that it needed to handle in order to provide the electricity on a regular basis. So who are these engineers that are doing these things, that are making these decisions and building these dams and infrastructures, and they're not building them correctly? And how do you not build your infrastructure to grow with the people? When I was there in 2020 in Nigeria, where my brother lived, we were like the only house in the area. The next house was like kind of far away. It was it was an up and coming development. This time when I went back, oh my God, the places that were empty lots, and they were having problems with electricity then. Now they have more people in the area, more homes are built, and I don't see them doing anything about the infrastructure. Plus, the homes also have the electrical fences around them. To keep out the burglars and intruders. So that's wearing on them. So you got the generators going. Fortunately, we didn't have to run a generator as much this time. We only ran it because the water would be used up in the tank. And then we had to turn on the generator to pump water from the borehole to put water back in the house. So the generator was not being run nearly as much as it was when I was there in 2020.
But so things have improved a little bit. This generator uses, is it diesel or what? The cost of that fuel is expensive.
Yes,
So
it
there are
is.
people generator who cannot even turn it on. But I know a friend's husband works for Total, and the cities that they are in, Total Oil, the gas company, the petroleum company, they provide free electricity 24/7 for that village.
For the
So
what?
it's for the village where they are operating. Yeah, where they are drilling the oil. So I'm saying that it is possible for Ambassador said there are people. It's not everybody who don't know what they are doing. There are people that know what they are doing, but some people in authority want to be bribed for them to be given the right permits to do what they need to do. And it's so because electricity should be it's a necessity, it's not luxury, it's a necessity.
Right.
And to me, I think people should focus on putting solar panels and using solar energy so they don't have to deal with the national grid or pay
Yes. Yes.
monthly bills, so long as they can keep the panels clean. There is a young boy that build this, they call it lion lights. I think the lions were eating his
Yes.
parents'
Lion lights. Uh-huh.
livestock, and let me see if I can pull it. And he came up with a solution, and that lights drove away the lion. Yeah, so have you heard about it? I think I've talked about it on this program before.
Yeah, I heard about it on this program, but I've not been able to follow up on that. But what is happening on the continent is a shame because governments are the victims who are making it difficult for people to have what they ought to have. Now they are talking of solar energy, but even when solar energy comes, it seems like some government officials are saying that they should tax the people while they are using that. That is a free gift from nature. And if
Right. Right.
somebody is able to harness it and use it in their home, they should not tax them for whatever. That's my point of view.
Yeah,
I'm asking.
it was invented by a Maasai boy. Let me
Yeah.
see if I can. Do we have time for me to show it or no?
If you have it,
Yeah.
you show it. If it's not too long.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
It was.
You
It
guys,
was. It was created by somebody in Kenya.
Yes,
a Maasai. It was a Maasai young man.
yes.
Okay, the thing is loading. I will see if I can. You guys proceed. Let me see how long it is, and then I will.
Mhm.
Let me mute for a second. You know. Wait. Oh, okay. Hold on. I can show it. Hold on. This one is only 3 minutes. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on a second here. Let me.
We built a $49 garden hose nozzle that makes.
You're not sharing.
You're not
No,
sharing.
no. I want to take it to where the commercial. I want to pause pause it after the commercial. Give me a second. You guys continue. Then I'll come back when I'm ready.
Yes, Ambassador, talking of which, I mean, you have the experience in Kenya and in Nigeria. I have the experience only in Cameroon. And well, I used to go to Nigeria. So at that time, when we come, of course, they know that officials from another country are around. So the power will flow until we leave.
Oh.
The people will complain that, oh, when you people are living like that, know that we will be in darkness the next day. So that
Wow.
was something I used to hear and say, but why are they doing this to the people? The people
Mm-hmm.
are the ones who ought to benefit from it more than those of us who are visiting. We visit, we come for a moment and we go. So please
Right.
let the people be the ones to profit from the availability of this resource.
It's like she has ready to share.
Yes, buffering, sorry.
Uh,
It's still buffering. So would it?
yes, it is still is so unfair
Yeah.
to the people.
Kitengela, Kenya, which is near Nairobi National Park, if you're
We
checking
can't
this
see
out
it.
on a map. At a young age, while he was responsible
No.
for safeguarding his family's
There it-
cattle,
There it goes.
Can you see it now?
Now
Go
we
ahead.
can see it.
Yes.
we are so happy to have you here, and more who are joining us live at this very moment. Today, our explorer is wildlife conservationist and inventor, Richard Tereri. Richard is a member of the Maasai community in Kitengela, Kenya, which is near Nairobi National Park, if you're checking this out on a map. At a young age, while he was responsible for safeguarding his family's cattle, he invented an innovative light system called lion lights. These lights are used to protect livestock from being attacked by predators like lions. In 2013, he founded Lion Lights, which is an organization that shares this invention across his local community and beyond. His organization now collaborates with more than 50 young people in his native.
We lost the sound. Reverend, we lost the sound. Uh-oh. It's all gone.
No, it's still buffering. I forced forward. I'm not going to play the whole. Okay, well, I'll just put the link in the. Wait.
Yes. Oh, that's a young man.
Oh, so there's a young man there. Okay.
Years old. I was out looking after the cows at night to ensure that, we had a lot of animals being killed, and my community would get really upset and they would go after the lions. And I was not happy because I loved lions. So I told myself, what could I do? So at a very young age, I've always been passionate about technology. And I asked myself, how can I use this passion that I had to do something? And that is how I got working with Lion Lights. So I began doing different experiments to try and keep off the lions. And many things that I did were I used to put up scarecrows near the cow shed. This is where the animals sleep at night. And they would work for some time, but eventually the lions would get used to them. You know, lions are very smart animals. So they would get used to it. And so it didn't work. And the next thing I did was I used to put up fences around where the cows sleep. But also that didn't work. So after countless failures, I came to realize that every time that I walked around with a flashlight at night, the lions would not come. And they would not come because they can see a human with a flashlight at night. And the lions are scared of humans because the humans go after them and they kill them. So, and a human cannot be awake every day looking after animals because you need to rest. So I told myself, what if I actually made lights that would actually fool these lions that I'm always there? And that is how Lion Lights magically just, the whole idea, how it was all achieved. So I basically discovered that if I put up a flashing light that would mimic someone's movement at night, then the lions would get full. So I went around, collected different materials. I got an old car battery, I got a solar panel, and I built a small thing, I call it a transformer. So the transformer is what makes the lights flash and mimic the movement of lion lights. So as you can see the lion lights are always pointing outside because that is where the lions come from. So it didn't take a long time before my community would see what I had done, and they asked me to install these lion lights to their homesteads. So very quickly the word spread, and I was the person to go that every community wanted to ask. So they asked for my lights, and I helped to put them up. So I right now we've installed about 2,000 lion lights across Kenya. And all the homesteads that are fitted with lion lights have never reported any conflict with lions. That means that the community are now able to live peacefully with lions.
Wow, what an incredible journey you went on, from empathizing with your people, but also the lions. It led you to trial and error. But now here you are today. All right, all of you watching. Recently, Richard had the opportunity to visit a homestead where he has installed lion lights, and lucky for all of us, he took his camera with him. We're going to take a look at this video just to see how lion lights have been working at this particular homestead.
This is Pocket. I never go anywhere without it.
You see, this
At the
is
top
a young man
of a
that
button,
cared about
it records and
animals and the people.
Right.
And he saw a big problem and came up with a solution.
Did he say that the lion lights worked by motion?
Good morning, guys. My name is
Detectives.
Jeffrey, and I'm coming live from Kenya.
Yeah, just listen.
And we are here today in Kenya. We are here to visit a homestead that has been attacked by lions for so long now. And I came here about a week ago to install our lion lights. So I'm here to talk to them, understand how has it been since we installed our lion lights. Have you seen any lion huko tena?
Hatujaona simba tena.
So she's saying that she's not seen any lion.
Tangu tuweke mataa, kuna simba imekaribia nyumbani.
Wow, so she's saying that since we put the lights up, she's not seen any lions. That's really good news. So the lights are just here. It's the lights there. So this is the lights. Let me just take you around and see. So this is typically how the Maasai people live. This is a homestead, and the homestead is made up of just tree branches. This is like a fence. So this is a fence, and you can see the animals there. So the lions will just basically come and leap over this, and they would go after the animals. So we are now just entering the homestead. This is the homestead. Hi. So this is the homestead that we came about a week ago, and we installed these lights. So these lights are, you can see the lights are here, the animals are back there. So these lights are facing outside. They're solar powered. So this is just a solar cell.
Okay.
And it's a battery inside there with a sensor. The lights flash outside because that's where the lions come from. So the lions would actually attack these animals. But we're so happy to hear that since the installation of our lion lights, they have never had any attacks from lions. How cool is that? So this is just another successful homestead that we've been able to help. And now it's been about a 1 week now. This homestead used to lose animals every single day. Personally, I have recorded about 10 cows that were killed in this homestead. So to hear for the first time that they have not lost animals in a week now, it's amazing. And really amazing.
Talk about transformative impact.
Yes.
You know, the lion was coming and getting free food, you know. And so what he did was he made the lights look like a human being moving. Because he said he found out that me as I'm blessed you, when he has a flashlight and he was walking, the lions would run away.
Yeah.
Dr. Koti, you are welcome. So, Ambassador Lisa, what's your take about that video? Dr. Ogoji, we're talking about energy and electricity, and that was the young man. He did that at age 13. He started working on age 12 when he solved the problems of lions eating their cattle.
Right.
You know, and they did a movie about him, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'll have to look up that later. I was just thinking, wonder why they didn't electrify the fence. But then again, when you don't get enough electricity, you can't electrify the fence because
Exactly.
it won't stay on. So the lights coming on scares the lions away. So that's an ingenious.
Electrifying the fence could backfire because it could electrocute a human being, not just the lions. You see what I'm saying?
Right, a human being shouldn't be trying to climb over the fence.
Yeah, somebody may forget. So, yeah, so Dr. Ogoji, we're talking about electricity and energy. You spend at least 1 month every year in Africa, in Nigeria. You know, talk about your experience with electricity. Do you remember when there was power coming in Cameroon when we were younger? And power.
Sonne.
Huh?
Sonne, not Sonne.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. You are young.
Power was in the days of West Cameroon.
Yeah, Powercam was West Cameroon before Sonet took it over. When there was Powercam, it was based in Yoke, Moyoka. There was never any any blackouts until the French people take it over. So, but talk about your experience with energy and electricity growing up in Cameroon and now as you go to Nigeria as an adult.
Well, I have a lot of things to say about it. In Cameroon, I don't know about now. When I was growing in Cameroon, light was steady. We have steady power.
Exactly.
So if you're going to be an interruption, the one announcement on the radio that electricity user in this area be warned that between 12 noon and 2 p.m. power will be interrupted for 2 hours.
I remember that.
We warned that even though there's no power, consider the lines as life as dangerous because power will be reinstalled without changes.
Yes.
So by 2 p.m. the power will go off. So by 12 noon the power will go off. Before 2 it comes back. That was me growing up.
Yes.
Wow.
So when I was a teenager, I when I was in dormitory school, school closes by June every year. My father would just bundle me and take me to a village to stay with my grandpa. It was a wonderful memory. Really. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's in Nigeria, right?
Nigeria, yes.
Yeah.
My grandpa and grandma. So
So you had the best of both worlds.
yes. So my grandpa was a polygamist, had about 7 wives, you know. So the life was good because every morning he gets 7 breakfasts, 7 lunch, 7 dinner.
Ambassador, did you hear that?
So what he does is he tests each of them, decide what he wants, then he has so many grandkids. He said, kids, come and take this one, the kid one is gonna eat.
Yes.
I was a special grandkid because I came from Cameroon.
Oh, no, you came from abroad. You came from abroad.
I always eat with him.
Yes.
But then when I went to Nigeria,
how old were you? I know that was after secondary school, right? Or after high school?
14, 15, 16. When I was in secondary school, every night my grandpa. Was surprised me.
But where did you do your high school, in Cameroon or Nigeria?
Cameroon. I left Cameroon finally.
Okay, so you went to
okay. I did 5 years secondary school, 2-year high school. When I went to Nigeria, I was actually 20 years old, finally for medical school.
Okay.
So between the age of 12 to 20, I was going to Nigeria for 3 months every long holiday. So then there will be no light. So the light will just go off without no warning. Sometimes spend 2-3 days without light. That was funny. And then I began to ask questions. So Africa has gone backward. Before my time in Nigeria, one of our governors, Sami Mbakwe, actually built a power station in Imo State, Owerri, that the state had 24-hour power.
Wow.
Then, during the time of military junta, the governors, the army coup, one military man came and saw that some people came from either Pakistan or Singapore and paid for the whole power plant and uplifted everything and took it abroad. He sold it. So that actually happened in Imo State. So we have power problem. You can't rely on power. Then when I became a man, I built my house far away from my family house. So as Ugoji is a very big family. My great-grandpa Ugoji himself had about 15 wives. My grandpa Ulo had 7 wives. So imagine Ugoji, Ulo is his son. He has siblings with many wives from my parents. I'm a great-great-grandchild of Ugoji. So we all live in one big area. Our family says we're over 300, 400 number, over, close to 500 number. I see the same last name from one man. We all live in a big area. But as people grow, when I'm about to build my house, I didn't, there's no more land within that compound for me to build. So I moved away from the compound. My house, from my family house to my house now, is about 10 minutes walk, 15 minutes walk. Still within the village. So when I built my house, the place was a no man land. My house was the first building there. So from the main road to about almost 8 minutes walk, used to be dark. So I installed a solar street light personally on that street about 10 years ago. That make a difference to the whole community.
Yeah. One light.
No, street light, not one.
Oh,
so remember, as we have major roads, there was electricity, there was a high tension major road. I tapped electricity from major road to my house. It's about 8 or 9 poles. Even though I have electricity, there was really no power. Power comes once in a while. I decided to buy solar street lights from China, order from China. I bought some of them. Before I put in my compound, I put on the street. So the street to my house was purely bright. So now you can walk to my house in the night without no fear. That makes a difference for the whole community. And things changing from there. I was after my experiment, I put it's about 15 or 20 street lights, solar lamp, very good ones. Different communities, different people around the community start putting solar street light in their communities. Fast forward, in the past 5 years in Nigeria, things have really changed. Right now in my house in the village, I have 24-hour power. When I go to Nigeria, I sleep with my air condition from. So, but this is not government. I have a 30 kVA battery, solar battery, with over 30 panels on my roof. That during the day, that can carry 3 air conditioners and give me all the power I need. But once it's 4 p.m., I off all those air conditioners in the whole house, and then people can use fan, so that by 9 p.m. when I'm about to go to bed, I can put my air conditioner in my room and have air conditioning till the morning. So I'm still living a good life. We can have power in my house 24/7. My refrigerator works 24/7. Now that I'm away, I'm not around now, that power is being wasted because it's solar energy. What I've done so far is I use that power now to power my, I have a borehole in my house, which I always give water to people free when I'm around. But now that I'm not around, I make sure my security man pumps water every day because the power is there, fill up the tanks, people take water for free. So to hope all the people around my neighborhood get free water from my house.
Awesome.
Then at night, there's a solar light around my fence. My fence light have light around my fence, which I don't put on when I'm around, because I conserve energy for myself. Now that I'm not around, every night they put the fence light. So if a person around my house at night, there's power till morning. So I think in my only way I've changed that environment, provided power for them, and not just me now. Everybody now, if you have some money, you can. I mean, with as little as, I mean, it's not easy, but as little as $4,000 or $5,000, you can get a good solar energy that can carry at least air condition, one air condition, and maybe some fans. With as little as $2,000, you can get a solar that can carry your lighting points, but not a refrigerator. Very few people who are opportune can keep their refrigerator on 24/7. In my house, my fridge is on 24/7. One of my cousins, I put one refrigerator, one big freezer outside my house. So now that I'm not around, he's selling ice block. One of my cousins' wife. So he sells ice block to people, and that's her own source of living. I've changed her life and her family. So every morning, come there, carry ice block and send the market and use that to feed their children. So power is everything. We are still backward in Nigeria. Nigeria is so far. Imagine the federal government spent how many billion naira to put solar energy in the presidential palace. So if the palace, imagine putting solar energy in White House, that tells you the government has no plan to fix power. Because the White House of Nigeria, our own White House is being run by solar right now. So it's sad. And without power, companies cannot develop, things cannot develop. But fast forward again, 1 or 2 states in Nigeria, this current president privatized power, that you can generate power and sell as well. Since he made that, because before power was a federal government responsibility, he now passed a law that is a state responsibility. So at least 3 or 4 states in Nigeria have taken that opportunity and created their own power station that they are running. So like still Abia State in Nigeria now is having more steady power from government, but it's pretty expensive. They are selling it expensive, giving it to companies that want to run it, hotels. But if you have the money, forget about government light, buy a solar panel, buy a solar battery, you're good to go.
Unfortunately, that it has to be the individual who has to do that. But government, the intention of government is to serve the people, not individuals. But ministers are enjoying it, but the people in the villages are not. That is a big problem. It's not just in Nigeria. Cameroon is the same. And I don't know which other African country. I think almost every African country is like that. The people in power are the ones profiting from what government provides.
Dr. Goji, let me ask, you said it was expensive because you have it 24/7. Is the government charging you a tax for your use of your solar panel?
No, but
Okay.
in Lagos, the governor of Lagos passed a new law to charge solar energy tax, charge borehole tax. Even when I was growing up in Cameroon, I mean, I don't want to change topic. Even in Nigeria, there was pipe borne water in houses. Now, in Nigeria, that's gone. So I have 3 places I live in Nigeria: Lagos, the Owerri, and my village. In those 3 places, I have boreholes sung by me.
Okay. Oh, so did you say Warri? You lived in Warri? Oh, you live in Warri?
You know, Owerri. Owerri is a capital city of Imo State.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And that's about 30 minutes from my village. So I spend most of the time in the village, but if I'm tired of village life, I want to run away from
Right.
I go to
So the government is not giving the people electricity or water, but yet they want to tax them on the electricity that they're paying for and bringing into their own homes.
Lagos State is taxing you for water and electricity right now. It's a new law. It's sad, but it's unfortunate.
It is very sad that they're getting all this money and then they still taxing the people who have no jobs and no ability to get a lot of money. So we are almost at the top of the hour, and we were going to make this a very short show, but I'm not sure what we're going to do now. But we're going to play the anthem, or we're going to talk about our announcements and then the anthem. Where's Reverend Pam?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so we're going to discuss telecommunication and transportation. So Dr. Ogoji, we need you next week because that's another. This thing is just a summary of most of the problems that people face in Africa. So.
So next week's topic.
So we're discussing the T in studio, Ambassador Lisa.
Okay, got it. Telecommunication and transportation.
Telecommunication and transportation
is the T in our stew that we're going to talk about next week.
Yeah, after the anthem, we can take a round of the table after the announcement.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're also looking forward to you joining us in the beautiful country of Accra in Ghana for our 7th annual summit and gala fundraiser. The first weekend in September, you can go to africasbrainbank.org. That's africasbrainbank.org. And you will find a link there talking about the 7th annual gala. Click on it if you're curious, you want to know what this is all about. Click on it and see past. You can see pictures from the past. You can get information about this year's upcoming. But we need to see you in Ghana. Come on, get your ticket, get signed up, get ready, and meet us
you
there.
Will be there.
And I will be there.
Dr. Koji will be there. Me and some will be there in spirit.
We will be there.
And you will be there in spirit. Come on and let's go. If you've always wanted to go, you thought about going, you were curious, now is the time to come on. The countries are not bothering you about COVID shots, any of those things. If you've already had a yellow fever shot, you don't have to get any more because now you are immune for a lifetime. So you don't have to get that shot anymore. That's $300 you can keep in your pocket. But come on, go to africasbrainbank.org and get information and join us in Accra, in Ghana, on the continent of Africa. So those are our announcements. And we're going to go on to play our anthem. Let me see. I know I have it ready. Yes. It is ready. Let me get back over here to share.
While you are looking for that, Dr. Goji, when we come back, here comes the anthem. That's okay. And when Dr. Goji, when we come back, have you ever done the cost of keeping that freezer on and the amount of money your cousin is making from the ice? I want you to answer that.
Okay.
When we come back.
Okay. Interesting question.
Yes.
Here is our anthem written by our CEO, Her Royal Highness Reverend Pam, wrote this as our anthem. We own full rights to it, and we are so proud of her and our song.
Africa, oh no. Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind AfricaOnline Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey, Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does, to identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards, as one people with so many cultures. Yes, indeed, we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. AfricaOnline Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. They have all the resources we need to benefit our society. Oh. Education for everyone, if we believe. Prosperity for Africans, if we believe. Medical facilitation for Africans, if we believe. Stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. AfricaOnline Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is a cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Jump on the AfricaOnline miracle jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. Not everybody else who's trying to come in and take apart. Africans own Africa. And it is up to us to make sure that we do our part to go back home and help our brothers and sisters on the continent. I did forget one announcement. I forgot to make an announcement about our borehole, our Operation
Yep.
Borehole 55, where we are trying to put a borehole in every country on the continent. Our first borehole was already sank. It's in Sierra Leone, and it is not only benefiting the clinic where it was planted, it has solar panels, so there's constant water coming, and it's also benefiting 6,000 households in that community. But we can't do all this without you. So we want you to consider making a donation. It doesn't matter how large or small. When you think about how much water you run that goes down your drain just when you're brushing your teeth, think about that is some water that some child is having to go and get from a dirty river. Consider making a donation. You can go to Africa's Brain Bank as well, .org, africasbrainbank.org, and you will find a link to donate. Consider dropping a donation there for our borehole project so that we can put in our next borehole, which is for Kenya and Cameroon. Thank you so much. Reverend Pam, you had a question for Chief Ogoji.
Yes, Dr. Ogoji. I was saying that, have you ever calculated the cost of running that freezer outside and versus the income that your cousin is making from selling the water, the ice blocks?
I think he
To
stepped
see
away.
if there's a net, to see if there's a net profit. All right, that's okay. If it's Dr. Ogoji, are you there?
Must be distracted doing something.
Dr. Ogoji.
He doesn't seem to be there.
Okay.
There
All
he
right.
is.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is.
Did you hear the question?
I hear the question, yes. So, as you know, solar energy is free. It's capital.
Oh, you have solar energy. Yeah, never mind.
So
I
solar energy is
forgot.
free,
Yeah.
capital intensive. Of course, it cost me about $6,000 to $8,000, close to $10,000 to have the type of solar energy I have in my house. But once you invest that money,
it was worth
it's
it. Yeah.
lifelong investment except the battery. You change the battery every 5 to 6 years, depending on the usage.
So bad. Mm-hmm.
And so it cost me nothing. In fact, I feel I really complain when people, like in the past, before I even put solar energy, when I have this big 30 kVA generator in my house that I will start to give me light, God knows that generator can power 5 or 6 houses around my place. But I'm using the same fuel.
The
So in my house
fuel is
alone.
expensive.
So what I did before solar energy, that even when I had generators, I took out street light, and whenever there's light in my house, the street around my house have light. It cost me nothing. The amount of energy produced in my house, I cannot finish it. So if I put 3 or 4 street lights for neighbors to at least have light outside the house, it's a plus.
Yeah.
So again, it costs really nothing. For the income they make, I mean, the woman makes about $25 every day from that. So
that's a lot of money in Nigeria.
I don't know about rainy season, but dry season time, people will sell soda pop, bottled water, sachet water, need ice to sell cold water. So ice is never enough. She sell everything. Then during Christmas time, unfortunately, that's when she make most money. But if I'm home, I say no more. Don't come to my house. I just block it because I need a refrigerator for myself. But when I travel, she has the refrigerator to do whatever she wants. I mean, that money is enough to feed her family and pay her school fees.
Oh no, that's a lot of money. $25 a day. That's a lot of money. That's transformative impact we're talking about. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Goji, one of the things she can do is she can eventually buy her own freezer and plug it into your house, you know, and so that she'll have ice block all year round.
Well, I don't want her to plug her freezer in my house when I'm around. I use the energy during the day, then turn off some of the equipment by 4 p.m. so I have enough energy for my AC for night.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So when I'm around, I take priority. Anyone else can wait.
and you should. You should. Yeah, you should.
No. So I mean, it's so sad that Cameroon doesn't have power now. I'm surprised. Can I remember when I left Cameroon in 1992, after my high school, went to Nigeria. 3 years later, I went to visit Cameroon. And I want to iron my clothes. I said, is there light? It was like some type of spontaneous question. You know, ask, is there light?
Mhm.
Can we use in Nigeria?
Because you were coming from Nigeria that did not have light.
I asked them 3-4 times. They said, why you ask? We have light here. But if things have gone to the worst, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, they are going backwards.
Yeah.
I used to be proud about Cameroon.
Yes. Okay, that
Yes.
being said, Dr. Goji, you're talking, so you just keep talking. Give us your last word on energy and electricity.
Well, my last word will be that I don't care what our leaders say. Today in Nigeria, to get a driver license, you have to capture electronically to get a driver license in Nigeria. To get a passport in Nigeria, they have to capture electronically. Passport is done by computers and power. To buy gas, they need power to buy gas in the gas station. You go to the courthouse, you need power to print paperwork. Gone are the days people type with the old typists. People are using computer to type and print. So it will surprise you that all the government offices in Nigeria are run on generator.
Are you kidding me?
Are run
that
on
doesn't make any sense.
generator. And
Wow.
the sad thing is that they sabotage. The people who import generators don't want the power to be fixed. People in power, see, because if they get budget of $5,000, they'll claim $2,500 is for fuel, for gas for the generator. It's a way to steal money. You go and buy 20-liter gas for the generator and put 10 liter in the car and put 10 for the government. So there's a breaking point that we're getting to. I mean, unfortunately, poverty has been used as a weapon that people don't ask questions. If every Nigerian was like me, okay, we have to march to the street and don't go to Abuja. You go to your local government and capture a local government chairman, because trust me, when I was doing my youth service in Nigeria, I was posted in local government in Anambra State. I was only medical doctor in that local government. Then they were paying me maybe 40,000 naira for youth service allowance at that time. For those who don't know, in Nigeria, when you finish college in Nigeria, you have to serve, because school's supposed to be free in quote. You have to pay back your government free education by serving 1 year for the country free of charge for a stipend.
No, we don't have that in Cameroon.
So that's in Nigeria. We call that National Youth Service Corps. If you don't serve it and get a certificate, you cannot work in a public service. So when I was doing my youth service in a small rural area in Nigeria, I was only medical doctor in that local government. I woke up to the local government chairman and said, Mr. Man, yes, I'm here. I'm taking care of patients. You know, the money they give me for my allowance from the federal government is so small. Since I'm providing a more valuable service, I want you to place me on a salary role from local government fund. He agreed and put me on the payroll right away without even asking. This idiot doesn't come to the office on the 24th of the month. He comes on the 24, 25, 26, 27. The money comes from Abuja in a sack. The money comes from Abuja. Abuja is a capital. In a Ghana must go sack. Not against Ghana people. Sorry, the bank called Ghana must go sack in Nigeria.
So that's the name of the bank. I know it.
So it comes in a sack. This guy will put about 10 sacks full of raw cash. He put the cash under a table, cross his leg, and then they were paying the workers. They pay all the workers. The remaining sack, about 8 sacks, will be loaded in the back of a 504 saloon, 2 or 3 of them. And they'll zoom off with the money straight to the government house where they have places. There'll be 4 people bring the money and share it based on ratio and disappear. They don't come back again until 23, 24, 25. So what am I saying? I wish Nigerians can hear this. I've said it all the time. If a local government, if my local government chairman want to fix my local government, the money he gets from the federal government in a year can give pipe-borne water to the whole local government area, can provide functional health center in the whole local government center area, can tar the road within 3 to 4 years. So there's no need to go and cash Abuja, cash Tinubu, or go and cash my governor, Hope Uzodinma, who I don't know me. The local government is from my area. I know his house, I know his papa, I know his mama, I know his children. So if we start attacking them one by one, then they'll explain where that money come from, and
where it's going.
And so, if the local government can use the money sent to them and fix the local government, one local government, so Nigeria will transform within 4 years. So corruption is a key, and that's the problem we have. And we don't go anywhere until our leaders sit up and do something about it. I've talked too much.
Either come correct or move out the way.
Dr. Gordy, you are right. That's why you don't have a social media account.
Thank you very much.
Either come correct or move out the way, because there are young people with ideals who are already standing by with ideals to fix these little issues in our countries. As the young man in the video we saw with the lion lights, they are ready. They just need the opportunity.
Ambassador, just keep going.
So as I was saying, I told the congregation while I was there in Warri, prepare yourself. Get ready for seats on the member in Parliament. Get ready to be a governor of your area. But you've got to prepare yourself. You have to do something more than just be in church praising God. God has given us the ability to be able to sit in the seats of authority. And God is looking for some people that's going to stand up and do right. So it is time for the people to either move out the way with their old selves and their old thinking and their old ideals, and let some young people, but be prepared when opportunities present themselves. So we're talking about energy and electricity. And, I have to keep reminding myself that the United States is celebrating its 250th year of independence this year, while most of our African nations are barely 60 years old, maybe 65, so they've got a long way to come. And we need to stop judging them by our standards and continue to pray. And we know for a fact that prayer does change things, and that people are standing up and getting ready to step into these places of authority. And we're going to see a different Africa. Back to you, Professor Nearson.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Yes, we look forward to seeing a better Africa, a different Africa, so that when we visit again, we will smile and say, oh, this is something. Somebody woke up on the right leg this day and did something good. Your Excellency, Your Royal Highness, your turn to give your last word, and we wrap it up.
Well, Dr. Goji, God will continue to bless what you're doing for your people. And I'm so glad you are coming to Ghana. When you are coming, put your entrepreneurial hat on, because beyond being on the panel on Saturday morning, I want you to take advantage of the opportunities, investment opportunities in Ghana. That is not charity. The online is charity, the brain is charity, but those business opportunities are not. And you have been faithful. You were there from day one. The inaugural event, Nielsen was there. The only one you missed was Nigeria, because you couldn't go to Nigeria back to back. But I'm glad we're keeping it at Labor Day. So, next year will be in Houston. The following year will be in Kenya, and we'll see where the Lord wants us to go. And then after that is our 10th anniversary in DMV area. So I am so excited about what the Lord is doing. Let's share the link, invite people to come, let them register. But for this energy and electricity thing, I can't wait for the day where electricity and energy will not be a problem on the continent, especially in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
There are some companies that are converting trash into energy, but we are winding down the show. So that's something we could have touched on. We touched on it in the past. That's a good way to keep the environment clean it also affects the health because a clean environment, keeps mosquitoes away and diseases and all those type of things. So there are companies that are converting trash into energy, and the government should support those companies. And who knows, when the internet came, we thought that was the best thing that ever happened to humanity. We didn't know AI was coming. So now somebody's talking about synthetic intelligence. So I still believe that God keeps sending all these creative ideas and all these inventions to help us, because the world keeps getting complex, more and more complex every day. So we want to just urge the government. There's plenty of sunlight in Africa. There's no reason why you cannot install solar panels in for your people. That way, you cannot complain that it's costly. You can do the initial investment. I don't have to worry about the national grid. Over to you, Nielsen.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Ogoji, it's a pleasure. Ambassador Lisa, it's my great pleasure. It's always my pleasure to be here. We are already on we are entering the third week of the month of May. So May is virtually going out. Whatever happens, let us keep faith, let us keep hope alive, and let us be sure to move forward, confident that tomorrow will be better than yesterday. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the weekend.